Hi everyone, welcome to another video. I figured I'd give a little update on my diet and overall health, and then some other thoughts I've had today and throughout the week. I've been eating raw foods, no-cooked foods for a month and a half now, roughly a month and a half, and I've lost some weight and kind of stabilized at about 105 pounds, but I'm also 5'3". I've always been a really small person, thin framed body since I was a little child. So it's not surprising that's kind of the weight that I ended up at. I haven't been losing more than that. Like I said, I've stabilized at 105 and I've been there for probably, I want to say 3 weeks or so. Overall, I feel amazing. I just feel very light, and I can say that I'm disease-free at this point. I was struggling for a while with chronic digestive issues, especially in my colon, and having elimination problems like major constipation. To the point where I felt like I was gonna die. And I know it's not funny, but it is kind of funny because I feel total opposite now. I'm full of life and vibrancy today. But yeah, like 5 months ago, before taking this trip to Alaska to help family and whatnot, I seriously felt like I was just gonna pass within a couple months just because I was so ill. But yeah, here I am, and just doing well. I've noticed so many improvements besides digestive improvements. One huge improvement is my gum health. My teeth and gums, I've had sensitive teeth and gums for I don't even know how long, maybe 6 months, 7 months, and I noticed after eating certain things like grains, beans, some other things, salts, they were all making my gums and my teeth very sensitive. So when I stopped consuming all those things, of course, my teeth have gotten significantly better. The fruits, raw fruits and leafy greens and celery and some other vegetables that I eat. I don't eat that many vegetables anymore. Intuitively, it just doesn't make sense when I start eating them and I digest them, and it just doesn't feel right. It feels kind of difficult on my body. Like it's more, vegetables feel more like a spice at this point. You just use a tiny bit sparingly. Mostly just herbs like parsley. I love basil and oregano, but I'll eat just a few leaves of that every few days. Anyway, one of the thoughts that I've had for a while now, kind of comes up again and again in my life, just because people like to comment on my frame or on my body size, on my weight. They tell me, "Oh, you're too thin." And I've heard this my whole life. No matter what weight I am, my own family is the worst culprit of this, but even other people comment on how clothing looks on me because I'm too thin. They always say, "You need to gain weight, boy. You need to put on the pounds. You need to eat more burgers," or whatever. But just naturally, my body is small, like I mentioned earlier. But here's a good question, right? So most children, healthy children, are thin. They have pretty small frames, and they, if they're active, they're fit, you know, and we call those children that are thin and fit and healthy, you know, we just call them healthy. We call them healthy children. And then when adults are thin and fit, as I am right now, you know, I'm pretty active and I'm thin, sure, but people call me sick. And it boggles my mind, you know, that we have that frame of mind towards adults that are of a smaller size in general. You know, even, let's say, big boned adults, when they're healthy and they're fit, they're pretty thin. You know, there's no need for us to grow up and have enormous muscles and you know, no need to grow up and have a humongous gut too and call it normal, just because everyone's doing it. You know, not too long ago, you know, there weren't a lot of huge muscular men walking around. You know, let's say 100 years ago, most people were pretty thin. Granted, we didn't have as much food in that time, maybe security of food and whatnot. So now that food's more available today, all the additives in food too that make them so addicting, you know, people tend to just eat way too much. So, you know, as a child, you're thin, fit, healthy, and then as an adult, you become almost not human. You know, I mean, not human in the shape that we're meant to be. And we've normalized this. We've accepted and actually promote that is just part of who we are now. You know, that I don't fat shame anyone. I think everyone's on their own journey to figure out what's healthy for them. But you know, in mainstream culture today, we say that being fat is perfectly healthy and fine, even though it's attached to so many major health issues, and I don't think that it's a correct approach on overall health when we're teaching children that it's totally fine to over consume constantly and put poisons in your body that make you fat. I just don't think that's the right way to educate children. But yeah, I am told all the time that I'm too thin, yet I'm kind of the same size as children. You know, if you take all the proportions and match them up to the kids compared to me. And I just don't understand why so many people find that unacceptable. Yeah, it's really interesting. Anyway, I hope everyone is great, and thank you for tuning in for this short update. I'll see you for the next one.